we begun and where we all will go. Tune your heartstrings till the bell rings. Take it all in, everything you got to see. Shake it all off, break it all down. Scream it out from rooftops all around the world. And this is your life, and this is your love, and this is the time we're gonna rise above. There's no place like home, that place in your soul. That's where we begun and where we all will go. This is your life. This is your love. This is the time we're gonna rise above. There's no place like home, that place in your soul. That's where we begun and where we all will go. Tune your heartstrings till the bell rings. Take it all in, everything you got to say. Shake it all off, break it all down. Scream it out from rooftops all around the world. This is your life, this is your love, this is the time we're gonna rise above. There's no place like home, that place in your soul. That's where we begun and where we all will go. This is your life.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Drive Show. As promised, we've got with us here in the studio Dana Fardan and Juan Pestana from DNA Records. Dana, welcome back.
Thank you. It's great to be back.
Thank you for being here. It's not your first rodeo, as they say, being here on QF Radio, being on this very show, the Drive Show.
No, but at the time I was driving.
That's
last
true.
time.
She was a
So now
ninja.
I'm in the studio. It's great.
She was driving, and we did half the interview over the phone, maybe half in the studio. It was something special. And a new guest, first timer here on the Drive Show, Juan Pestana. Juan, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here.
Thank you for
Yeah.
being here with us today. Now we're going to start with Dana. Of course, you have a lot of fans, especially here in Qatar. This is home turf for you. But for those who don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are.
So 2 years ago, I launched my debut album, Pain, as a singer-songwriter. After that, I decided to focus on composing and writing music, as well as the fact that I wanted to set up a label, because essentially I wanted to set up a structure that would be able to absorb all the different activities within music that I felt very strongly about. Number one, the composing. I mean, that comes first. And then the second is the songwriting. So since then, we've been able to complete a few projects that I'm excited to talk about.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to hearing more about them as well. Juan, tell us about yourself.
Well, I came to Qatar like 5 years ago, more or less. And 3 years and a half later, I came, I met Dana. And I heard about her before. I was so looking forward to speak with her about my music life and about producing and stuff. So I had the chance to meet her on an event. And that was it. That, like, she said, well, we're going to get back to you. Just hold on. And days later, Dan Brown from DNA as well, he called me back saying that, yeah, we would like to meet with you and to see your skills, like to do something, like to test you. And it was amazing. It was really amazing. Since then, we've been working together, and wow,
That's
it's
awesome.
like it's a dream come true.
That's really
Crazy
amazing.
thing is, the first time Juan and I worked together, it was on a song, "This Is Your Life," where he was playing the piano for that piece.
Yeah.
We
I
got
was-
that on one of the most anticipated album releases.
I was just going to say, the song that you guys were just hearing before this interview started was This Is Your Life, written by Fardan, produced and arranged by Robin Schulz, and piano by Juan Pestana. So tell us a little bit about this song. How did that happen to be? Robin Schulz, one of the biggest names out there internationally, and you got to work with him on that.
We were just supposed to be sending out a demo until we got a phone call a week later. And everything happened so organically. Juan came over to the studio and put the keys down. We were looking for a vocalist. We couldn't find anyone. So last minute, we found this young lady who Juan knew through a friend of a friend. So he wasn't 100% sure she could sing. At that point, we just needed a demo. So we thought, all right, great. Let's just lock this down, send it over to my manager, Will, in London. Worst case scenario, we get a vocalist to sort it out over there. But then this young lady came over, Haley, and she killed it right from the beginning. So we sent it over to Robin Schulz's manager. A week later, we get a phone call saying that it's a very likely contender for the album, which we couldn't believe. And then a couple of months later, I was signing releases, and I didn't even know whether or not it was a shoo-in for the album until I saw until my manager sent me the pre-order page, and there was "This Is Your Life" right there, number 10. I still have that picture.
That is crazy. That must have been so euphoric, I can
That
imagine.
was nuts. We couldn't believe it.
And that girl, Haley, she was also here in Qatar? Or
She's here, yep.
So this is all homegrown, right? This is all
Everything.
happening here in Qatar, which is something that I want to talk about as well. You finding Juan here, or you two finding each other, plus finding a girl like Haley. Qatar has been a hub for a lot of different fields and in a lot of different industries, the music industry not being one of them. So this is something that you're really trying to pioneer, and this is something that you're really pushing in, throwing in all your weight on, the music scene here in Qatar. Tell us about that. Why are you... it seems like you're a one-man army at some point, to trying to revive it or trying to breathe life into it.
Well, I think that what I'm working with a setting and a culture that is already ripe and ready for something, to take the creative space and launch that on a larger and a greater platform, because there's already a lot of investment in art, in culture, and you've got unbelievable venues over here. You have incredible resources. You have incredible facilities. We're so blessed to have access to what we have access to over here. So I feel like what I'm doing is just basically taking what we have and then just sort of giving it a bit of a platform, but only in music. There's already a huge platform for art. There's a huge platform for film, and all of that could be interrelated.
Definitely.
Especially the composing side of things. So it's not, of course it's a challenge. What I do is a challenge a lot of the times, but the reason I'm doing what I'm doing is because it just fits.
Absolutely.
It's not something that I created. It just fits. That's just that's the direction I feel the country's been going. I've met so many creative people. I've been able to learn and benefit from a lot of people's knowledge over here, from people's experience over here, as well as the individuals that I work with in London. So just that connectivity, that interconnectivity, and it's just been such a great fit across the spectrum.
Absolutely.
For everything that I've been doing.
I'm going to shift gears to Juan here a little bit. Now, Juan, you're from Portugal with a little bit of Venezuelan blood in
Yes.
you, or just a little bit of Venezuela generally. Now, a Portuguese from Venezuela living here in Qatar, they say music is the language that unites us all.
Yeah, it's true.
Do you find that to be true?
Yes. Music, I think music was the first language that show up in this world. I have that feeling, people communicate through sounds.
Right.
And it's music. As my father said, music will never end.
And is there a specific genre of music that you say, this is where I focus all my efforts, this is definitely what I want to be doing for the rest of my life? Or do you are you always open to try different things and explore the
Well,
music scene?
I love to explore, yes. I love to blend things and put different genres together. I cannot do the same thing all the time,
Over and over again,
and
yeah.
over and over. I had to escape sometimes and do something weird, but it at least gives me, how to say that, another vision about music, It's important for everybody to appreciate all genres of music. It brings more knowledge and experience, It's very important. I'm not against someone that is listening just one genre of music, not at all.
To each
but
their own, yeah, of course.
music is everywhere, so just open your ears and your eyes and listen it. It's
And enjoy
incredible.
it, sort
Enjoy
of,
it, yeah.
in all its forms. Take it in. It's important for us to not just be a culture that consumes from everywhere around the world and import our music and culture. So it really warms my heart to know that we have content creators, people who are creating the music that is then exported outside, and other people from around the world want to hear it.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's one of the core values of DNA Records. We create content, and I feel like that's something that also fits in really well with everything that's been going on over here, being a knowledge-based economy. The fact that we're here to create, we're here to generate content. We're here to build something, and like you said, export that to the rest of the world. We at DNA Records, like Juan was saying, we don't focus on one genre. So on the one hand, I'm also a composer. I'm about to release my classical album, Sandstorm.
I've heard a lot about it. We're looking forward to getting a copy of it so that we can maybe play some of it on QF Radio at some point in the future. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Let's talk about DNA Records. DNA Records is your project. This is something that you're very proud of. Tell us a little bit about what it stands for.
DNA, the label, the title, it stands for DNA. I mean, it stands for the core.
Right.
For what constitutes for like that compelling core section of
Right.
what it means to be that entity. Mm-hmm. And the building blocks. So this is essentially, we created a platform, a structure that would be able to give us the building blocks of what we want to ultimately achieve.
Absolutely.
Musically, and especially given the fact that we're not focusing on one genre, we needed a larger entity to absorb everything that we're doing. So everything that we're doing has to take place at a certain level, and that's the DNA of it. So that's our philosophy. Everything generated from within. We create everything. And obviously to a certain quality and to a certain level, and we don't compromise on that. That's the one area we don't compromise on. We'll throw our full weight, our full support behind any artist that we feel, has what it takes to make it globally, internationally. But if we feel like someone is lacking in certain traits or certain qualities, musical qualities, or certain ranges or talents, we won't be able to back that, only because we know that, especially here in Doha, that we have access, that there is a very high standard.
Right. And you want to find the best of the best.
You want to find the best, because we know it exists. We know it's here. We know there are so many talented people over here.
Yeah.
And we're not going to compromise on that, because that just lowers the overall standard. And it's not an accurate reflection of the talent that's available over here. So we want to make sure that we project exactly that.
Like you've said, there's a lot of tools. The tools are here. The platforms just needed to be created, which is what DNA Records does, and the talent is here.
Yes.
Just have to go out there and find it. Now, let's talk a little bit about some of the stuff that you guys are working on currently, or stuff that is expected to come out. What's next for DNA Records?
So next is 2 projects happening simultaneously. It's my classical album, Sandstorm.
Sandstorm.
And I think following from Paint, that's more the musical interpretation of my creative space and my creative presence in this present moment. And then there's Juan Pestana. So that's basically a collection of songs written by me and produced by Juan. because when we were working together at the beginning, I realized that for the demos, Juan was producing up a storm. So instead of sending off the demos, we were like, hold on a second. These are complete songs within themselves. We don't want to be sending them off anywhere. Why don't we keep that for our own album? I've also been writing a whole bunch of material since Paint, and I couldn't pick a genre. And ever since I worked with Robin Schulz on that album, I realized that, well, EDM today consists of many different types of genres. You could have dance, you could have blues, you could have ballads, you could have everything. As long as you sort of place that within the umbrella of EDM, you've got the basic house beats, you're good to go. So we thought, you know what, that's fantastic. That's the way that we can get a whole body of work, and we could sort of classify it in one entity.
Right, assimilate it all together.
Exactly,
Yeah.
under EDM.
Excellent.
So that was great, and Juan really grew into himself as an artist, and from the beginning you could see that transition from the beginning of our work together till the end, and you realize and you could see his distinct characteristic now within the beats, within the production, within the rhythmic patterns.
That's awesome. Juan, I'm going to take it back to you. I mean, these are some big compliments
It's
coming
incredible,
your way.
yeah. Really.
Tell us a little bit about the storm that Dana was saying you were setting up in the place. What's that all about?
You know,
And what instruments did you focus on? Let's get down to the details a little bit.
About the tracks.
Yeah.
But first of all, you know, I've been learning a lot through Dana and DNA. It's like it's quite an experience to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in my past, I never, how to say that, I was dreaming on this, like this, having this chance to put my skills on paper, and now it's incredible. As Dana said, it's like I've been, since the first day until now, I noticed that I'm really getting to it, like more experience, and the sound. It's something that really DNA we're really looking for. You know, this new sound, well, basically, our process is like Dana. She comes with an idea, and the lyrics, of course, and then I developed the structure of the song. And the remix, when I'm trying to remix, of course, the brainstorm is the main thing. You need to be in a good mood to come up with good ideas as well. And everything is like, it's natural for me. It's like I've been doing this for many years,
Mm-hmm.
but never in the way, like professional. Like,
Right.
But the way to do it is still the same, you know, but I'm quite comfortable with it, you know. Like my advantage is like I'm really good to improve. Like improvisation, it's something that kind of was born with me. So I'm really fast and doing stuff, and that's one of my strongest points.
Just to be quick on your feet, to be able to sort of adapt to the incoming stimuli.
Yes,
whatever it is.
Exactly.
All right, Dana, as a writer,
Just wanted to add to that, Juan can pretty much pick up any instrument and master it,
that's amazing.
like in a second.
That's some.
When I
that's
told
some
him that he was
serious
going to be a
talent.
DJ, he was like, well, I've never done it before, but okay. And killed it. Killed it better than I've ever seen out there. So I'm not worried.
And you had an eye out to pick him, to be able to see that this guy's got something.
Yeah, no, he's really got something. But the way that he's developed it to get to where he is right now with his signature patterns, with his signature sort of musical characteristic, that has been a profound development. And, you know, I'm very honored to have been able to see that.
That is awesome. That is awesome. I want to talk about the writing a little bit as well. Writing is hard. A lot of people don't know that. If you haven't tried to pick up a pen and paper before and write something that's more than 5 lines long and makes sense and rhymes, then you can't talk about that. It can be tough, and everybody has a different process, whether you're writing poetry or trying to write a short story, whatever it is. So you're writing lyrics. You're writing for music. What's your process? What do you sort of draw upon personal experiences, or do you like to stay away from that, or what do you do?
I always draw upon personal experiences. So everything in my music reflects everything that happens around me.
Okay.
things that I would have reacted to.
Right.
So
Do you feel like that makes it more
positively
authentic?
or negatively,
Yeah.
it's just that's the only way I can write. And it could be through somebody else's eyes. I could have related to someone or a character in a film, and taken that as the conception that I want to discuss. I want to address. But it always starts with a melody, not the other way around. So the melody forms the thought process. It forms the rhythm. You think rhythmically, you write rhythmically, and that's what almost structures the concept and the storyline. So that's why composing comes so naturally, because it always starts with a melody.
Awesome. I can't thank you enough, both of you, for being here today. Honestly, it's an honor and a pleasure, and I really enjoy your music, both of you. And we're really looking forward to your future stuff. We know there's a lot of it coming out. We have another song by you guys that we're going to play in a bit, and I'm going to talk about it. But real quick before we let you go, if people are interested, there's a lot of people listening to this show right now, and they want to know more about Fardan. They want to know more about Juan and about DNA Records. How can they do that? Is there a website they can go to? How do they follow your news?
So we've got a website. Everything is on. We also have Facebook pages, one for DNA and one for Juan Pestana, and we're on DNArecords.com.
DNArecords.com.
Yeah.
Are you active on social media?
Yes.
Do you tweet a lot, or?
No, there hasn't
What's
been
your
any.
thing?
There hasn't been any tweeting, but it's been Instagram and Facebook.
Instagram and Facebook.
Yep.
That's where people should go. All right. Again,
so we're on DNA Records on Instagram.
DNA Records on Instagram. Excellent. Thank you so much. Coming up, we're going to be playing We Are the Light. This is written and composed by you, Dan Fardan, and it's produced and arranged by Juan Pestana, right here on my left, and some arrangement by Tim Baxter as well. Yeah. Do you want to tell us something about this song before we play it?
So last February, I arranged a show with the Qatar Philharmonic Orchestra, and it was a combination of instrumental music, instrumental filmic music, and music that incorporated vocals, more contemporary stuff.
Right.
So one of those songs were "We Are the Light," and I felt like it did not receive the treatment that suits its character.
Mm-hmm.
So that was it was a great rendition of it with the orchestra, but I felt like it existed in a different space, and we finally found that space, and it was EDM. So we took a lot of components, and our philosophy with that song was that it needed to be organic, and so we incorporated organic instruments. So organic cello is played live, it's not electronic, live violin, some live percussion, and some of the music elements were arranged by Tim Baxter, who arranged my orchestral show last February at the Qatar Opera. So it just brings all these different spaces together, and now I feel like it has a home.
Perfect. We're going to be playing in a second. Yeah. Juan, do you want to add anything, or do you think that covered it?
No, it's what Dan said.
Excellent. Once again, thank you guys so much, and we hope to see you again sometime in the near future.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
There you go, people. This is We Are the Light.
Open up your eyes, we travel far, we travel wide, we will not hide, we cross the line, our fruit is ripe, our eyes are bright, we are the light, we are the light, we are the light, we are the light.